Hello Imbibers, a very good afternoon to all of you. So welcome to today's session, and today children we are going to start this new chapter of 11th standard, which is the biological classification. In the previous chapters we have discussed about the living world. Yes, that was important. Since it was first chapter, it was a small chapter. That doesn't mean that you can ignore it is very easy. No, it is not easy. Why the taxonomy was important, what is the basic classification and everything, from high to low, ascending and descending order, from kingdom to species, why scientific name was given, and how we basically we preserving all the existing organism, be it plants or be it animals. So in the today's session, we are going to discuss about that why the classification or the introduction to the biological classification, which was given by the Whitaker, which was the 5 kingdom classification given by Whitaker, and he basically considered everything, the mode of nutrition, the cellular organization, and why it was so important to basically classify all the different organisms. Okay, so we are going to study that how scientists basically put forward a step to classify organism, what was the need, and how over the time such a good classification came into the limelight, so that it becomes easier for us to study or for everyone to basically organize, classify, name them and everything related to that. Okay, so it is easier to study, it is easier to go through everything. So before we start the session again, let me introduce you to myself. I am Anam Khan. I'll be your botany expert for this session 2023 and 2024. So we're going to discuss all the amazing sessions related to botany chapters. Okay, so let's start our today's lecture, which is the biological classification. So in this chapter, children, the topic would be covered would be almost related to only classification. And one by one, in detail, we are going to discuss about kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Plantae, kingdom Animalia, and everything we are going to discuss, and kingdom Fungi also. Okay, moving forward, the concepts would be covered in today's chapter would be the introduction to biological classification, that why biological classification was important, what is kingdom system of classification, what is kingdom system classification, why 3 kingdom, 4 kingdom, 5 kingdom, and the advantages of phylogenetic system. So how 2 kingdom, 3 kingdom, 4 kingdom, 5 kingdom, and of course the 6th kingdom came into limelight, and why it was important to classify that or classify organism in such a manner. Okay, so let's see, before we got into this classification system, how initially scientists were classifying organisms. So the very first is, there is a question for you, that why is classification important? What is the reason that we need classification? Talking about, do you think that we can put towels and footwear together? No, it's not possible to put towel and footwear together. Yes, toothbrush and kitchen spatulas together. No, this is not a proper way of classification. At your home also, you tend to have a segregation, that you put your toothbrushes in the washroom, in the bathroom, okay, and your kitchen spatulas in the kitchen, because it is their food is being prepared. Okay, of course we cannot put all the things together at one place. Yes, the need of classification is because the things are findable, they are characterized easily, they are named easily. So that is a need of the classification. So yes, an organized wardrobe, the shoes at one place, the shirts at one place, the blazers at one place, the school dress at one place, and everything, your sport dresses are at one place. So having our organized wardrobe is important, just like that organizing our animals and plants are important. Okay, and then having this organized kitchen also, the plates at one place, the forks at one place, the spoons at one place, the knives at one place. So organizing everything is to make the easier for us to study, for basically to judge or for to name the organism easily. So this is why the classification is necessary. So coming back to our topic, what was there when the classification was not done? So children, what is biological classification? Talking about the biological classification, it is just scientific procedure of arranging organisms into a hierarchical series. It means the scientists have come forward to arrange all the organisms according to the hierarchy. What is hierarchy, children? From very small primitive organisms to extremely advanced organisms. The hierarchy is needed to be maintained because the classification is done on the basis of the hierarchy. Okay, and yes, of course, all the organisms are being classified on the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities. So the reason why biological classification, the necessity of classification is important, because the biological classification helps us to organize things easily, to identify them, and to easily communicate with each other. Of course, I am a human, you are a human. We tend to be more comfortable with our own species because there is a medium of communication. We can identify, we have identical features, and of course it is easy to have shared nutrition and XYZ, whatever you can say. So the classification is important because the organization is easy, the identification is easy, and to live together is an most easier process. Okay, so this is what by classification came into the limelight, arranging them according to the hierarchy and based of their similarities and dissimilarities. This is why the biological classification was needed. Let's talk about, children. You got an idea that why classification was needed, but yet there was an effort done by the Aristotle. He made the classification in the very first place, that it is the earliest attempt. It means the very first attempt by the Aristotle in the very long back. What he did, he basically classified plants into morphological features, like their morphological features means external features. Morphological means external. External, something which is visible from your eyes. I can see, I have a nose, I have two eyes, I have 2 ears, I have lips, I have neck, arms, legs. Yes or no? So children, those are the morphological features. So Aristotle tried to classify things on the basis of their morphological features. So he used trees as mango tree, then he uses shrubs, which is hibiscus plants, and herbs. So trees, shrubs and herbs on the basis of their morphology. Okay. Then he classified animals into 2 groups. Animals into 2 groups, one which is having red blood, one is which are not having red blood. Of course, this classification might be at that time it was very fascinating, but of course you know this is not classifying anything. Okay, you are classifying trees. Okay, the one who are longer in appearance are the trees, shorter shrubs, more shorter herbs. Okay, and how this is possible for the animals, that yes, okay, this is red blood animal and this is not a red blood animal. This is not something which is on the basis of morphology. Okay, yes or no? This is typically the physiology. Yes or no? That they have a red blood cells, they don't have a red blood cells. Clear, discarded. Clearly it is needed to be discarded because it is not giving us any clear idea that this is how the classification was making us easy, making study organism easy, making naming them easy, making identification easy. No, it was easily discarded at that time. But yes, it was the very first effort by the Aristotle that he started the classification. Next, that came into the limelight after the Aristotle. The next effort was made by the Carolus Linnaeus, you know, which is the father of taxonomy also. Okay, what he did, the 2 kingdom classification. So children, while I talk about the classification systems, and yet I am going to also talk about the drawbacks they have. Why they were discarded, why was not that widely accepted, because they had flaws. Okay, there was not appropriate classification basis on the which the organisms and the plants and everything could be classified. So they were also discarded. First we are going to discuss that what exactly in the 2 kingdom, 3 kingdom, 4 kingdom, 5 kingdom, 6 kingdom classification, and we are going to also see that why they were discarded, why they were having drawbacks. So talking about the 2 kingdom classification, it was proposed by Carolus Linnaeus, the father of taxonomy. Okay, and he classified on the basis of nutrition and mobility. Nutrition, what is the mode of nutrition? And the mobility. Mobility means the ability to move from one place to another. Always remember, this is something you know from the very small classes, that plants do show movement, but plants do not show locomotion. Locomotion is an activity where you are displaced from the place where you are moving. I am right now standing here, I have moved here. This is what locomotion is. But I am standing at my place, moving my hand, that is what is the movement. So the plants show locomotion, but the plants show movement, but they do not show locomotion. So what Carlos Linnaeus did, he basically classified organisms on the basis of their mobility and their nutrition. So he just said there are only two classifications existing. One is the kingdom Plantae, which includes all the plants, shrubs, herbs, trees, angiosperms, gymnosperms, everything, algae, bryophyta, everything was included in this. And then there was kingdom Animalia, which consists all the animals, aquatic animals, terrestrial animals, amphibians, everyone. He just gave a very clear, a very broader picture. Yes or no? Simple, something which is not moving, something which is at still, okay, this is plant. Something which is moving, okay, something which has eyes, simple, movement is showing, okay, this is animal. Okay, very broader classification. It has to be completely rejected, because children, you know, this is not possible for us to classify such a big environment, such a big nature, so many organisms in just two categories. This is not a very discrete, very, I would say, not a very clear classification, that we are not able to identify those particular organisms, we are not able to name them also. Clear? We cannot say, okay, this animal, that animal, this plant, that plant. No, we need to have a proper identification features. We need to have a proper classification and nomenclature for that, naming them. Okay. So moving forward, the drawbacks of the two kingdom classification are that he did not classify or distinguish between the eukaryotes and prokaryotes. You know what are eukaryotes? Something which have a very advanced nucleus, properly well organized a cell. Then there is prokaryote, which have primitive nucleus. Their cell is not that well organized. And next we have unicellular and multicellular organisms. Okay. And next we have photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic organisms. This has been completely discarded. This has been complete drawbacks of the two kingdom classification, on which that basis it was completely discarded. No distinguish between eukaryotes, prokaryotes, no distinguish between unicellular, multicellular, no distinguish between photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic. Yes or no? Very clear? Okay. So moving on to the three kingdom classification, children. Before that, the question. So the binomial nomenclature was given by whom? Yes or no? Remember the living world. We have discussed that in the living world. Do not forget, it's a very, very easy question. Please try to attempt it, children. The reason explained, but binomial nomenclature, that there would be a scientific name, there would be a genus. Yes or no? Binomial system of classification. Good answer. Come on, Lakshita, Tanmay. Please answer this question, children. At least try to attempt. This is so easy. This is absolutely very easy. Okay. So, the binomial system of nomenclature, it was given by Linnaeus, because Carlos Linnaeus is the father of taxonomy, and the very first binomial system, the binomial system of nomenclature, that a name, a scientific name will have two components. One is the species name, the other is the genus. Okay, yes or no? Species epithet and genus. Okay, it was there in the binomial nomenclature. Yes or no? So moving forward, I see people have given the correct answer also, and one has given the wrong answer. It's okay, not a problem. Moving forward to our next topic, which is the three kingdom classification. So ma'am, what is there in the three kingdom classification? What are the drawbacks also of the three kingdom classification? Talking about the three kingdom classification, which was given by Ernst Haeckel, it was given. Please children, always remember name also. Even in the future, if you are going to attempt the NEET examination, going to sit for the NEET examination, since you have already taken biology, I know many of you will sit for that medical entrance examination. There also the question from the biological classification always comes sometimes from the scientist name also. So you should always know the two kingdom classification was given by whom, three kingdom classification was given by whom, four kingdom classification was described by whom, five kingdom, six kingdom. Please always remember, because this is important, you have to remember the scientific names or scientist names specially. Okay, so the three kingdom classification was given by Ernst Haeckel, and the unicellular eukaryotes are protozoa and slime molds. Multicellular eukaryotes are fungi, algae, and prokaryotes are bacteria. So all these organisms were kept in the kingdom Protista. So in the three kingdom classification, there was another kingdom introduced. There was kingdom Plantae, there was kingdom Animalia, and finally there was another addition to that kingdom of classification was kingdom Protista. In this kingdom Protista, the Ernst Haeckel introduced fungi, algae, bacteria, prokaryotes, protozoa, slime molds all at one place in the kingdom Protista. Okay, but now Protista contains only unicellular eukaryotes. But now things have changed over the years. The most advanced classification has come into the limelight. So eventually the Protista still includes unicellular eukaryotes, but when three kingdom classification was introduced, Protista has everything: bacteria, algae, fungi, and slime molds and protozoa and everything. Okay, yes, there might be a reason for the discardation. Next, we have a four kingdom classification. So talking about the four kingdom classification, children, simply what happens in the four kingdom classification? In the four kingdom classification, which was given by Copeland, again there is another scientific name, another four kingdom classification. So the four kingdom classification was given by Copeland, and he introduced kingdom Monera and placed bacteria into it. Kingdom Protista, kingdom Animal, kingdom Plantae, and now kingdom Monera. Now the four has already been suggested. So kingdom Monera will have all the bacterias. Kingdom Monera, all the Monerans will have all the bacteria. All the bacteria would be present in kingdom Monera. Okay, so he introduced the fourth kingdom, and he introduced that into the classification. Clear? So this is about Aristotle, who basically made the initiation of the classification. Then we came about the two kingdom classification, then we discuss about the three kingdom classification, then we know about the four kingdom classification. Please, two kingdom classification given by Carolus Linnaeus, simple, kingdom Plantae, kingdom Animalia. Three kingdom classification given by Ernst Haeckel, simply Protista, Animalia and kingdom Plantae. Then we have four kingdom classification given by Copeland. He introduced Monerans, and the Monerans will include all the bacteria. Then there will be Protista, there will be kingdom Animalia, and there will be kingdom Plantae. Till now, you have seen that respectively we have already tried to classify, go on the lower side for the more and more classified form of description, so that the classification, the nomenclature becomes more easy, the identification become more easy. Yes or no? So four kingdom class, up to four kingdom classification, still the classification was not that clear, not that much more classified form we needed. Okay, because now we have put it, the Monera into Monerans, the bacteria into Monerans, we have Protista, the unicellular eukaryotes, we have kingdom Animalia, then we have kingdom Plantae. But the most widely accepted classification is yet to come. So I hope this much is clear. Moving forward, we have 5 kingdom of classification, which was so widely accepted and still it has been accepted because the most described, more classified on the basis of respective components. The 5 kingdom classification which was given by R.H. Whittaker. R.H. Whittaker gave the 5 kingdom classification in 1969 and it was based on so many components on the base of nutrition, heterotrophic, heterotrophic, parasitic, yes or no, saprophytic, thallus organization. If a particular plant is basically having root stem leaves or it is not having root stem leaves, or what kind of a structure they have. Next, the cellular structure, eukaryotes or prokaryotes, multicellular or unicellular. Okay. Next, the phylogenetic relationship, the evolutionary relationship on the basis of their phylogeny. Okay. Next, the reproduction, asexual or sexual or vegetative. Okay. All the basis of their reproduction also. So, can you see more? The classification of the 5 kingdom classification was on the basis of these components, and these are the most discrete form of classification. More and more information, more and more identification is possible because of this classification. So, the 5 kingdom classification introduced the kingdom Pronorera, Protista. They have included a fungi in a different kingdom, and then there was a plants, and then there was Animalia. So, this was the 5 kingdom classification given by R.H. Whittaker, which was broadly accepted, widely accepted, and which also considered all the things, all the components before classifying them into 5 different kingdoms. Okay, clear? I hope this is clear. Five kingdom. So, this is about the 5 kingdom classification. Okay. So, children, everything has their own plus points and positive points and negative points, but this is what which has been included in the 5 kingdom classification. This components what basically given importance in the 5 kingdom classification. The very first is the cell wall. Cell wall is present in plants, absent in animals. You know that since this 9th standard only. Okay, that cell wall is present in plants, absent in Animalia. Locomotion completely absent in plants because plants only show movement. Plants show movement, not locomotion. Then present in Animalia. Next, there is a nutrition, which is the autotrophic nutrition. Other is the heterotrophic nutrition. Okay. The other is the response to stimulus, which is poor, but animals have a very good response to a stimulus. Okay. Contractile vacuole is absent in plants, present in animals. So, in the plants we have included bacteria, fungi, algae, bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperm, angiosperm, all are having such features. And when you talk about the animals, we have protozoa, vertebrates and invertebrates, all that are included in kingdom Animalia. Okay. These are all which were taken care in the 5 kingdom classification. Okay. This is what your 5 kingdom classification includes. In your 5 kingdom classification, there is kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, fungi, plantae, Animalia. Talking about the features of monerans, what the unique features they have is that they have prokaryotic, they are prokaryotic, unicellular, they are prokaryotic, they are autotrophs and they are also heterotrophs. Some have cell walls and some do not have a cell wall. These are the few features present in the monerans, in the bacteria. Then we have Protista, they are completely eukaryotic, they are unicellular, single cell organisms. They could be autotrophic, can prepare their own food, or could be dependent on the other organisms. Then they have cilia, flagella and pseudopodia for their locomotion or the movement, I would say. Next, there is a kingdom fungi which was given a individual kingdom. They are mostly multicellular except the yeast. Except the yeast. Yeast is the only fungi which is unicellular. Okay, yeast is the only fungi which is unicellular. Always remember this exception. Next, we have heterotrophic and saprophytic nutrition. They are completely dependent on others and they are also have feeding on the dead and decaying animals and plants. They have a cell wall which is made up of chitin, and some of them are symbiotic. Symbiotic means having an association like mycorrhiza or lichens, having an association with the algae, okay, and obtaining or existing together and obtaining benefits from each other. Okay. Next, there is kingdom plantae which is eukaryotic, completely multicellular. They are autotrophs, cell wall are made up of cellulose. Okay. Next, kingdom Animalia, they are typically eukaryotic, multicellular, heterotrophs, and cell wall is completely absent in the kingdom Animalia. So, these are the few unique features of the 5 kingdom classification or the individual kingdoms that they possess. Okay, that they possess. They might be present in other kingdoms also, but they also have such kind of features. So, please always remember why the 5 kingdom classification was so widely accepted, because so much of I would say consideration is being given, so much of consideration is being given to all the components. Okay, it is being given all the components, consideration is given to all the components. Moving forward, children, next we have the disadvantages of 5 kingdom classification. Just like that I have said, everything have their positive and negative components. 5 kingdom classification was also having its disadvantages. So, the very first disadvantage was it puts unicellular algae in the kingdom Protista. Okay. Next, multicellular algae in the kingdom Plantae. Not possible. How this is possible? You are putting unicellular algae in the kingdom Protista, then you are putting multicellular algae in the kingdom Plantae. Okay. Next, many organisms with dissimilarities were in the kingdom Protista, and viruses are entirely excluded from the 5 kingdom classification. So, these are the few disadvantages or drawbacks of 5 kingdom classification, because yes, the 5 kingdom of classification is also not a perfectly described or perfectly classified system of classification. It does have certain drawbacks and disadvantages. Okay. So, after the 5 kingdom classification, the next which came into the limelight was, you should know that how earlier kingdom of classification was described. So, in the earlier times, before the 5 kingdom, 2 kingdom, 3 kingdom or even 2 kingdom, the earlier system of classification, basically what they are doing, they are putting algae, bacteria, mosses, fungi, gymnosperm, angiosperms all under plants, and based on the presence of their cell walls, all the organisms are being classified. Groups with widely dissimilar characteristics were put together. Okay, they are not having any similar characteristics, they were put together. Other eukaryotic groups were mixed with prokaryotic bacteria and blue-green algae. Yes, the prokaryotic and eukaryotic were mixed, the multicellular and unicellular was fixed or mixed with the classification which was not widely accepted. And yes, they also have that it combined all the unicellular and multicellular species. For instance, the algae category includes Chlamydomonas and Spirogyra. Chitin makes up the walls of fungi, whereas cellulose makes up the wall of green plants. Despite these differences, their cell walls were kept in the autotrophic nutrition, and they were also having heterotrophic mode of fungi in the bacteria, and yet they were kept in the kingdom plants. So, that is why individually fungi was given a individual kingdom. The reason the fungi was given an individual kingdom was that the fungi has a cell wall which is made up of chitin, and it shows complete heterotrophic mode of nutrition. While when we talk about all the plants have the wall of the plants, the cell wall of the plants is made up of cellulose, while they completely are autotrophic. Okay, so we cannot include, these are the two big features, but we cannot include fungi into kingdom Plantae, and that is why the fungi was given an individual kingdom, which is kingdom fungi, and all the fungi was included in those classification. And next children, the updated classification system has individually given all the bacteria, protista, fungi, plants and animals their individual places on the basis of all the components we have already discussed, be it cellular organization, be it their mode of reproduction, be it the mode of nutrition, the phylogenetic relationship. So this is the most advanced type of classification which came into the limelight in the eventually the fungi were given a separate kingdom called kingdom fungi. Kingdom Monera was comprising all the prokaryotic, which is bacteria. Kingdom Protista comprised unicellular eukaryotes organisms, and Chlamydomonas and Chlorella with Paramecium and Amoeba were kept under Kingdom Protista. So yes, this is what the advanced kingdom of classification was taking place, and everything has been classified, or I would say try to classify or have been classified in a proper manner. Yet we are still having more to do. The more improvement can be done, but still 5 kingdom classification was so widely accepted. But after the 5 kingdom classification, still people were not at ease, at peace. Okay, the 6 kingdom classification came into limelight. It was given by Carlos Woos, and he divided the Archaebacteria and Eubacteria from the kingdom Monera. Archaebacteria, which is the ancient bacteria, and Eubacteria is more the advanced bacteria, the new bacteria, advanced one. We have a separate session for this, children, don't worry. I will, after we explain the Monerans features, we will discuss about why Archaebacteria are and Eubacteria were not kept in kingdom Monera. Why? What was the difference? Why they were basically excluded? Simply, there is a bifurcation of kingdom Monera only. There is not kingdom Archaebacteria or kingdom Eubacteria. It just the still Monera have a horizontal distribution. Simply, the further Monerans were divided into Archaebacteria, Eubacteria. Okay, so there is not a problem. I just hope there is not a problem. Okay. What is needed to be repeated, Tabrez? Anything? What is needed to be repeated? Just mention which part you wanted me to repeat. Okay. So children, talking about the Archaebacteria and Eubacteria, we will discuss about that also. There is scheduled, we have class on Wednesday, I guess, for this. So do not miss that class. Register yourself for the class, or please also visit on, you can also watch us on the YouTube also. Okay. So 6 kingdom classification basically was given by Carlos Woos, and basically what he did, just classified Monerans into Archaebacteria and further Eubacteria. Okay, each having individual features. We are going to discuss about that only. Okay, clear? And over the time, children, when we do the classification, we have a question: who suggested 6 kingdom classification? Come on, quickly answer. Who suggested 6 kingdom classification? Who suggested the 6 kingdom classification? Come on, quickly answer, children. Okay, so the correct answer that who suggested the kingdom classification, Carlos was, he just separated kingdom Monera into kingdom Archaebacteria and kingdom Eubacteria. Just they are all present in same, but yet they are being three parts: Monerans, Eubacteria and Archaebacteria, because having their dissimilarities also. Okay, it is included under sixth kingdom classification. So children, after also sixth kingdom classification, this also might be eventually come into the limelight, talking about the 16 or as the 16S RNA, which is a genetic analysis. So in the future, if the basically classification will be done, it will be done on the basis of their genetic sequence also. Still we are on the mode of nutrition, mode of reproduction and everything, but in the future also we might have a more clear division on the basis of their genetic makeup, on the basis of their gene sequence also we might have certain classification related to that. Okay, this is what how you know the replication process you will study in the 12th standard, that we make DNA से mRNA, mRNA से protein, okay, through the transcription and translation process. Next question we have, the 5 kingdom classification children is based on what? The cell wall, the genetic material, the types of organelles or the mode of nutrition? Come on, quickly answer. What is the basis of 5 kingdom classification? What is the basis of 5 kingdom classification? Yes, yes Sampada, Carl was gave the 6 kingdom classification, absolutely right, but this question is different. This is a 5 kingdom classification based on what? Very easy. Cell wall, genetic material, types of organelles or mode of nutrition? Come on, quickly answer children. Still haven't answered. Okay, so the correct answer is that the 5 kingdom classification is majorly based on the mode of nutrition. Good Sampada, the mode of nutrition is the most prominent, the most given consideration mode, which is on which the 5 kingdom classification was taking place. Okay, next question would be, who proposed the 5 kingdom classification? Who proposed the 5 kingdom classification? Who proposed the 5 kingdom classification? Come on, quickly answer. Yes, the 5 kingdom classification was given by R.H. Whitaker. He basically given Morans the bacteria as individual kingdom, yes, good, and the other Protista, kingdom Animalia, kingdom Plantae and kingdom Fungi was given an individual kingdom. Great, I know, I just hope you have understood everything in the today's session. The next question comes children, why the fungi is different from the algae? Why the fungi was different from algae, in which is a reason why which fungi is different from the algae? Come on. Why the fungi is different from the algae? Cenocytic without motile gametes. So the reason why fungi is different, children, you know that fungi is typically heterotrophic and algae is autotrophic, because the algae has chlorophyll and fungi does not have a chlorophyll because they are completely heterotrophic, and the chitin wall, the cell wall is made up of chitin. Okay, that is why the fungi and algae are not at all similar. Okay. So children, now we come to an end to our class. So before you go, I would like to introduce you what I am not able to understand. Shivan, what you're writing, what you can explain from this quote? Take your time, write it, I will read it, I will answer. I am not able to get the question. Please write it down. So children, before you go, I would like to introduce you, this is the Embibe app. So children, whenever you wanted to have all the things all at one place, this is our app. And this is how it looks like. You can log in through your email ID, you can log in through your phone number, you can get an OTP or a password. While you enter into this is the page you will land in, and you can always select your board you belong to, and you can always select your class. This is the 11th CBSE I have already selected, but you can always change. This is the respective boards which are visible. Whichever board you belong to, you can basically select on that, okay, and you can select and you can have the curriculum, all the questions, videos related to your board. I have selected CBSE because we are explaining CBSE. You can ICSE, Telangana, Rajasthan, all the boards are available, and you can select your class. Since you belong to the 11th standard, you can always select the 11th. Next, your preferred language, and you will land up in this page. So children, as you click on the home page, you will see there are Embibe live classes. So all the scheduled live classes will be present over. This is me taking your class right now. Okay. So children, these are the coming classes today, and these are the classes for the next 7 days. So tomorrow we are going to study about the characteristics of monorails. So please do register yourself for this class, because we are going to take each and every kingdom individually, and you are going to explain all those features and all those organisms existing in that. Then I also have a class for the archaebacteria and eubacteria, why they are being differentiated from monorails. And then we have characteristics of the protista also. So please children, do register yourself for your class, because the notification will go and you will basically can join. And if you by any chance have missed the session, you can always see the recorded session. We are already on their past Embibe classes. Okay, they are always present. Then you can learn yourself, you go through all the videos, all the particular topics related, chapter related, everything you can do. Okay, and you can practice different questions, you can always test yourself, and you can always achieve. Okay, so Shivander is asking, ma'am, please explain the last question. I will explain you the last question. Children, the last question was that why fungi is different from algae. So the reason why fungi is different from algae is that fungi is completely heterotrophic. Heterotrophic mode of nutrition is that kind of a mode of nutrition in which the particular organism is completely dependent on other organism for their nutrition. While when we talk about the algae, algae is autotrophic. Algae possess chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is needed for the photosynthesis, and all the organisms which have chlorophyll component or chlorophyll pigment in their body, they will undergo autotrophic nutrition. What is autotrophic nutrition? In which the organism prepare their own food. The other differentiation why fungi and algae are not similar, that the fungi possess the chitin in their cell wall, while when we talk about the algae, they do not have a chitin cell wall. They have a cellulose cell wall or other components of the cellulose, but not chitin. But we see an association of fungi and algae in the lichens. Lichen is a symbiotic, mutual, coordinated relationship between fungi and the algae. Okay, so that is there where they are obtaining benefits from each other, but yet they are completely different with their cell wall and their mode of nutrition. I hope this is clear. Moving forward children, after the Embibe app, we have this amazing application for you, which is the Embibe Lens app. Please go and download this from the App Store or the Play Store children. This is something which is going to be very amazing. You just have to scan the text, whichever book you are reading related to physics, biology, chemistry, just scan the page. It will highlight those keywords and will give you respective 3D structure. Okay. it will give you respective 3D structures. Okay, so please go and explore this app, and children, you can always join us on the Telegram channel so you never miss an update. Tomorrow we'll meet at the same time. We're going to explain the features of monorems. Do not miss that class. Okay, till then children, please take care and keep imbibing. Bye bye.
Keep imbibing. We believe in you.